How to shift timelines and escape MK Ultra mind control. If you're here, you're meant to hear this message. We're going to talk about CIA programs and mind control programs that have been going on forever. And some of us are under the control of these programs and we don't know it. We haven't known it, and we have been polarized by a system and a program that keeps us in a timeline or a reality that is not heavenly. We opened a portal live on TikTok called the Looking Glass. This is an alchemical technique of bringing forward images from our subconscious mind, from our deceased loved ones, from spirit guides. In this piece, Trina's mother and father came forward to tell us about mind control, about programs called SAD, or the ARC, reptilians, and holographic realities. We're also going to learn about how to conquer these reptilians and this mind control program or operating thetans. It's a time to put up our boundaries and to realize the world that we live in. So let's talk about SAD. The Special Activities Division is SAD. It's a special division under the CIA. It's one of the most mysterious branches in the world. In your piece, you have the letter SAD on you. And the more I looked into these symbols and what's going on here, and how you're dominated by a reptilian, and the reptilian is holding an upside down heart, and I see a sad face, and I astral traveled and saw you and saw what was going on. I was able to put the pieces together, and even your dad, who passed away, came forward to tell us about mind control and what to do. So the pennies that I saw in your piece were a communication from your mother who passed, but they were also coins of these secret programs. And these secret programs put spells and implants inside our minds that we may be unaware of. So when it comes to shifting timelines, this is one of the things that we have to understand about getting away from mind control. What we think is a linear space and time is not really true. We're constantly shifting timelines depending on our actions, our thoughts, and our emotions. There are an infinite number of timelines. However, we always get a reflection of what we believe to be true and what we believed that we mean to be the most probable. As we do certain things, these actions create a reality. If we make a decision that is different than what the timeline has inside of it, it shifts our timeline. Like on The Lord of the Rings, when Smeagol killed his friend, he was shifted to a dark timeline where he suffered and he became sad. This is why it's not good to go to psychics or mediums, because they can tell you a timeline and not tell you how to shift a timeline that's negative. They keep thinking that and keep you in a timeline when you can actually shift. Shifting timelines and quantum jumping is an adept technique that requires that you think outside of linear time and outside of our normal or conventional human way of thinking. So one thing a mind control program will do to us as humans is polarize our emotions through the program of believing in the timeline that we're in. And also dogmas and religions, getting us to believe that God is outside of us, or Jesus is outside of us, or Allah is outside of us, is a perfect program to render us powerless and keep us in a timeline. In order to escape that timeline, you have to awaken that you can shift and listen to a higher self within you and go to a place that is more peaceful and balanced. So the frequency in which we resonate really is about emotion and belief, but it is also action, because your actions are a prayer. So everything in life is a choice. And if we're ignorant to what these choices actually do to us and how they affect not only ourselves, but seemingly people around us, then we would be more careful about our choices. But since our memories have been erased, we are likened to very little children who really don't understand what's going on. So being under mind control is very rude because we don't remember even why we're here. And many people run on autopilot. This is likened to the movie The Matrix, where the people in the Matrix don't realize they're in a matrix. They don't even realize they are working 9 to 5 and are just on a mental enslavement of just getting paid enough to get by and just for food and water. And they don't realize that they are under a mind control program. Because the ego wants comfortable, and the ego wants to be with the masses, and the ego wants to be with groups and to be safe. Because I think somewhere in our subconscious mind, we know that we are under some sort of control that isn't very nice to us. So there are people who shift. Shamans are timeline shifters, and becoming powerful and relinquishing who we were and learning to quantum jump and timeline shift is a process, and it's a process of awakening. And one of the things that you have to do besides forgive yourself and forgive others is to push yourself to do something spontaneous. In my opinion, it's best to clean. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Cleaning your house and shifting things around is the best way to shift timelines. So the Alliance for Reason and Knowledge is the Ark. Now, your dad has 2 oracles that look like the never-ending story, and I thought it was just a representation of the never-ending story, and it is, but it is also representing the Ark. So the Ark has 2 cherubims that face each other, just like the 2 oracles on the never-ending story. And what we have to understand about the Ark is that it is an allegory. So this allegory has to do with your brain. So let's talk about our brain and how to overcome mind control. So the Ark has 2 cherubims that face each other on top of the lid. But what's significant here is that the wings of the cherubim are spread over the Ark, covering and protecting what lies beneath. There's a left and a right. So this is speaking of the brain, the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain. So the component that's in the center is the pineal gland, and the pineal gland is known as the third eye. It's kind of like Moses splitting the waters in half with his staff. There's the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain, and the only way to get through the center is to part the waters. So the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thy eye be single, the whole body is single. So the 10 commandments is split 5 commandments on one side, 5 commandments on the other side. This is also a reflection of the 2 hemispheres of your brain, left and right. And your dad is basically giving you everything you need to know through all his symbologies, even the glasses that he's wearing, the CIA glasses, that it is time to go through something I call the eye of the needle and protect ourselves from a timeline that is not for us and is against us. So the cherubims are also at the entrance of the Garden of Eden. In order for us to get back to Eden, or a proper, peaceful timeline, we have to go through the eye. And even God says that he will commune with you between the 2 cherubims. So God is within you that is asleep until we go through the eye of the needle. Christ is within you that is asleep or dead. And we have to awaken it and follow that to a proper timeline. But we have to open the 7 chakras, and they are paralleled with the 7 wounds of Christ and the 7 spirits of God. It's kind of like Harry Potter having to kill the 7 Horcruxes, or Dorothy Gale having to ascend over 7 colors of the rainbow, because we live on the realm of 7 continents, 7 seas, 7 days in a week, 7 colors to the rainbow. And Osiris was cut into 14 pieces, so half of the realm is half of your brain, which is 7. The other half is 7. This equals 14. There's a lot of allegories going on and has come from Egypt. And these Egyptian allegories are all about the body, the brain, the heart, your cells, the prison cell within your body, waking up out of the prison cell and coming into the timeline, Garden of Eden within you. So mainstream Christianity and many dogmatic religions really polarize us and keep us in a timeline we don't even realize that we are a prisoner of. So the Christ within you has to come to life. And we do die before we die. And this is letting our old self go and rebirthing ourselves as a new person so that we can experience a new timeline. But there's something that needs to occur with you, and that is you really don't have control over the timeline. And you are on top of your wolf, and your wolf is your spirit guide that should be on top of you, helping you find your way to truth and life. So this is a story of someone who was in a car accident, and they were going on a head-on accident, and they blinked and they weren't dead. They were just in a different timeline. People changed. Things changed around him. It's like the Mandela effect, and there are millions of people out there who experience the Mandela effect, the 11:11 gateway, and some kind of shift where it's as if we died. And many people who talk about quantum immortality say that we die many times in our lives. We just don't know it because there's no such thing as death, only a consciousness shift. I was shown on the spirit realm that I've died many times. And my consciousness bounced like from Kansas to Oz or Muggle world to Hogwarts. Which timeline we shift to really depends on our beliefs, our emotions, and our frequency. So knowing that we can shift timelines, shift realities, takes a very brave person to basically jump off a cliff into the waters of the unknown, become nothing, and see where we go. And allow ourselves to become like an actor where we aren't ourselves anymore. We become someone else. And if you're someone else, someone looking for you can't find you. I believe that we did kind of all die on 9/11. 9/11 is 9 plus 1 = 11, the two towers. Looks like the number 11, and it's directly connected to the Stargate, which is the sun. The sun is the number 111, and it flips every 11 years. And if you think about all the allegories of the number 11, it's something about how we died. So your parents shifted to another timeline, and you experienced them as literally dying, but they didn't experience death. Only you experienced their death. And the reason you experienced their death is because of this program, this mind control program that includes a woman that is a dragon and reptilians. And you have these holy doves trying to fight for you to follow a pathway. But it's a difficult fight. You have a scarf around your neck and you're being closed off. So like the never-ending story, if you're in a reality that's the swamp of sadness, here it is with the word sad, you have to come to balance and find that spark within you, and you'll find yourself in a reality where Artex isn't dead, Artex is alive, and everyone else is alive too. So the white horse and the white wolf is explaining this to you. It's like Dorothy pissed off a woman in Kansas and said, "Oh, get away or I'll bite you myself, you wicked witch." And she pissed her off. So you piss off certain people in your reality and you don't know that they are part of the divergent wanting to keep you in a timeline. If you're a divergent and you don't want to be in their timeline, then they want to expel you. Harry Potter was under mind control of Voldemort, and he had to kill the 7 Horcruxes within him. These are the 7 chakras. Almost every conventional show out there really talks about this mind control and this shift. So the Hunger Games is a very significant one because this is something that's really in your piece. President Snow doesn't like people from District 12, 12 hours, 12 months, 12 zodiac signs, 12 disciples. Jesus was 12 when he left. And you have this holographic, almost like Hunger Games arena in your piece at 7 o'clock. And they are looking at you, and they created a reality for you. They're the game changers, what I call timeline changers. They control our timeline. They basically control our reality. I never understood why these reptilians hate us so much. Like, what did we do? According to The Handmaid's Tale, if we look at the symbologies within this series, The main character slept with a married man, and the wife asked, "Please, don't sleep with my husband. We're having problems, but I still love him." And the main character refused and actually took her husband away, had a child with him. And what she didn't realize was that this woman was very powerful, much like Dorothy didn't realize that woman was very powerful. And the woman worked for MK Mind Control, or SAD, CIA program, and put her in a horrible timeline. Took her child away, took her husband away, took her job away, took her happiness away, and made her sad. This is the CIA program, SAD. And so here she is, under complete control and complete sadness. And she had to say over and over again, under his eye. So being out of the eye of the needle is being under the eye, which is another way of saying being polarized. So let's talk about this polarization. This is the Vesica Passius. It's the most important symbol you ever need to learn in your life. It reflects the two hemispheres of your brain and the eye of the needle, or the pineal gland, in the center, which is known as the Vesica Passius. So if you are polarized by one side of your brain or the other, then you are positive, negative. You are in a timeline that is outside of the eye. So the eye is in the center. And Jesus said to go through the eye of the needle, unload your camel. What does it mean to unload your camel? Let go of this material world, this matrix. Let go of your beliefs, of yourself. Let go of your emotions. Forgive. And jump. Because the Vesica Passius is a flame, it's a teardrop, it's a fish, it's the eye, it's the ankh, it's a whale, it's a portal. And this portal is within your brain. So the Moses separating the two waters is your brain being separated left and right. And the way out to shift timelines is through the belly of the whale, or the eye of the needle. And so understanding your brain and understanding who you are will help you understand your outer reality, because it really does all begin within you. So when the main character, 11, went to the upside down world is a reality that is dominated by someone who polarizes you. And the correct world, the Eden, is within you. Now, the Scientologists say that we are all under the control of aliens, and we have implants, and that we are dominated by thetans. And the reason I bring this up is because you have the letters OT right under the people looking at you on a hologram, like you're being judged and watched by very powerful people, and you're being sent to a timeline. And according to your piece, you come from a place of bird people, and you are from Eden. I think you're an Edenite. You had wings there. You're kind of like Maleficent. You had wings, and your wings were cut, and you were sent to a polarized world where you were basically turned into someone that you really aren't. And you were given implants, and these implants were a way to control you and to make you kind of like a slave. So the man at 7 o'clock has the number 8 on him. And you're just being shown, we don't fight flesh and blood. We fight principalities and powers. So grandmother, what big eyes you have. Grandmother, what big nose you have. We don't know who we're dealing with. And we have to go within and follow that spirit guide. That is that wolf, that holy dove. And obey it, because it'll lead us to truth and away from programs and implants. So when you no longer respond to triggers, you're starving any kind of implants or parasites that are on you. And Jesus said you have to hate your brother, your mother, even your own life, because if you don't realize that these people aren't who you think they are, you can't shift away from that timeline. So let's talk about the white holy dove, or the white wolf, or the white horse. And you also have a white stag above you that has lightning. Lightning reflects timelines. Like a thief in the night, your timeline will shift. So there are conventional explanations of the white wolf. But this white wolf is basically a signal that if you were like Maleficent and your wings were cut from you, you were cut from knowledge, you were cut from your memories, you were cut from power, you were cut from many things. To reawaken to your true self, which was Adam and Eve, both. Eve was cut from Adam. You have to reconnect with that holy dove or this white wolf and allow it to dominate you, because it is a time traveler. It knows the butterfly effect. It knows the correct timeline, and you have to listen to it and obey it. We don't have control, but we do have the ability to close our eyes and hear a higher self, a voice that leads us. And this white wolf has instincts, and these instincts are very strong. So when we listen to this higher self, this twin flame, this holy dove, it is the 7 spirits of God. And these 7 spirits of God will lead you to truth and life and the proper timeline for your frequency and your ascension. So if we look at 11 o'clock, the reptilian is holding your crown that says the way, and he's holding an upside down heart. So the way is the truth and the life and opening your heart chakra. And this reptilian is trying to keep you from your crown and keep you from your opening your heart. So it says in the Bible that these individuals can take away your crown, and forgiveness is the only way through the heart and letting go. And so you're being shown by your dad to go through the 2 oracles and realize that eye, your all-seeing eye, is between the 2 cherubims, which is the Son of God, is within you. It's within your brain. He's pointing at your wolf, and he's telling you that this white wolf spirit will lead you instinctively to a better timeline. He's also telling you he's not dead. And with the glasses, he's telling you, watch what you see in this matrix and don't believe what you see, and shift yourself. Your mother is trying to help you between the crown and the reptilian, and you have to awaken to what is going on and that your parents aren't dead. They shifted timelines. The letter E's on both sides of the wolf reflect Eden. This is your original home. It looks like it's a place over the rainbow with fairies at 3 o'clock. A very angelic, happy, giggly, joyful place. Magical, really. All the houses and doorways in your piece reflect timelines and realities. So I wanted to come on here personally and tell you that I saw you on the spirit realm last night. I saw through your eyes. And there is a woman that you pissed off. And I don't know if it's something you said, something you did. I don't know. But this group of people, they've been shifting your world and attacking you. And I was shown you packing up your house quickly and leaving. The allegory of packing up your house quickly and leaving is going through that eye of the needle and leaving your self behind. Dying before we die is basically shifting our timelines, shifting who we are in order to shift timelines. And I know it's crazy. I know it sounds strange, but we don't really have a choice. We don't have any power except within ourselves. And since the kingdom of heaven is within us, this Garden of Eden is within us, we have to let go and forgive and understand that what we're seeing is a manipulation, and they are here to make us sad, to basically torture us. So watch your actions, watch your thoughts. Everything you do is a prayer, and begin the process of dying before you die. Change and shift your life purposefully and shift timelines. It's not an easy act. I will also suggest reading The Sorcerer's Crossing. It will require you to let go of your old self, and it will help you in an easy way. All of my love to you. I hope that you make it through this, and I'm so sorry for your loss.